In the vast reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, where hostile planets and fierce alien species thrived, there was one world so deadly even the bravest explorers avoided it. A planet named Krylos 9, infamous for its toxic atmosphere, violent, storms and ravenous predators that could tear through armor like paper. Yet against all odds, a human known only as the Deathworlder landed there, driven by nothing but survival instinct and an unyielding will to conquer the unconquerable. Aliens from a nearby outpost observed with growing disbelief as this lone human, without any advanced technology or backup, began constructing a shelter from scratch, using nothing but the planet's scarce resources, twisted metal scraps. From a crashed probe, giant thorny vines twisted into sturdy beams and rocks heated by the planet's unstable core to forge crude but effective tools. Day by day, despite the planet's constant onslaught of acid rains and attacks from monstrous native creatures, the Deathworlder's shelter grew from a fragile frame to a robust fortress, baffling the local alien species who had never seen such resilience and ingenuity. The aliens, with their superior technology and communal survival tactics, could not fathom how a single human could withstand Krylos 9's brutality alone, their whispers spreading across the galactic network as they debated whether this was a freak accident of biology or something far more extraordinary. Meanwhile, the Deathworlder, silent and focused, moved through each challenge with calm precision, capturing and purifying water from toxic pools, crafting weapons from the environment, and even taming some of the smaller alien beasts as companions and protectors. Every night, beneath the eerie glow of Krylos 9's twin moons, the shelter stood as a beacon of defiance, a testament to human grit in a universe that seemed determined to crush it. And as alien scouts continued to watch, they began to question their own understanding of survival, realizing that perhaps, just perhaps, this human was rewriting the rules of life on Deathworlds forever. As the days stretched into weeks, the alien observers grew more intrigued and unsettled by the Deathworlder's uncanny ability, not only to survive but to adapt and thrive on Krylos 9, a planet where even the most advanced species had failed to establish a foothold. Rumors among the galactic colonies spread rapidly, sparking debates about human resilience and evolution, while the Deathworlder continued to fortify the shelter, expanding it with defensive traps fashioned from sharpened bones and toxic plants, harnessing energy from geothermal vents, and creating hidden tunnels that allowed for safe movement during the planet's relentless storms, all while battling hunger, fatigue, and constant attacks from monstrous predators that lurked in the shadows. Each encounter showcasing not just brute strength but a keen tactical mind honed by years of surviving in the universe's harshest conditions. Despite the harsh environment, the Deathworlder's shelter became a marvel of survival engineering, blending seamlessly with the alien terrain, a fortress camouflaged yet impregnable, attracting even more curious eyes from the alien species, who dared not approach but sent drones and spies to gather data, which only confirmed what they had feared. This human possessed an extraordinary willpower and creativity that challenged the assumptions of galactic survival. Some speculated the Deathworlder was genetically enhanced. Others thought it was sheer stubbornness, but none could deny the growing legend of this lone figure defying death on a planet designed to kill. Meanwhile, the Deathworlder gathered knowledge from the environment, studying the planet's strange flora and fauna to find cures for wounds and poisons, learning to predict the patterns of the savage storms, and even communicating in rudimentary ways with the planet's lesser creatures, forging a fragile bond that provided protection and companionship in the crushing loneliness. Each night, as the twin moons cast cold light over the battered but unbroken shelter, the Deathworlder stared at the stars and contemplated the impossible journey that had brought them here, the loss, the pain, the endless struggle, but also the fierce determination that had become their lifeblood, transforming fear into strength and isolation into purpose. Back in the distant galactic outposts, transmissions buzzed with conflicting reports. Some aliens marveled and sought to study the Deathworlder's methods to replicate the survival success, while others feared what such resilience meant for the balance of power in the cosmos, worried that if humans could master Deathworlds, their influence would grow beyond control. The Deathworlder, however, remained indifferent to the cosmic politics, focused solely on the immediate challenges, building better defenses, securing food, and ensuring that tomorrow would come, Through relentless perseverance and ingenious use of the deadly planet's resources, they transformed Krylos 9 from a graveyard of explorers into a proving ground of human endurance, a silent message etched in the scars of the landscape that echoed across the stars. Survival is not given. It is earned. As the first year on Krylos 9 drew near, the alien watchers recorded their final verdict. This human was no mere survivor, but a pioneer reshaping the frontier of life, an indomitable spirit who had turned a death world into a testament of hope and unbreakable will, forever altering the galaxy's understanding of what it truly meant to endure. Time wore on, and the legend of the Deathworlder on Krylos 9 became a whispered myth among the scattered colonies and distant star systems, a story retold with awe and disbelief as this lone human continued to defy every prediction, building not just a shelter but a small thriving ecosystem amid the planet's harshest conditions. Alien biologists who monitored from afar marveled at how the Deathworlder managed to cultivate strange alien plants alongside scavenged Earth seeds, creating a patchwork garden that yielded enough food to sustain them through the planet's long, brutal nights, while engineers speculated endlessly about the ingenious devices rigged from seemingly worthless debris, wind traps that powered simple machinery, water purifiers fashioned from crystalline minerals, and alarm systems crafted from alien bones that rattled eerily to warn of approaching threats. Each day brought new challenges, massive storms that could strip flesh from bone, predators larger and deadlier than before, and the constant mental strain of isolation. But the Deathworlders' resolve never faltered. Instead, every setback was met with renewed vigor, innovations born from pain and necessity that pushed the limits of survival. Meanwhile, the alien observers, once skeptical, were now profoundly humbled, their own survival technologies and communal strengths rendered almost irrelevant in comparison to the Deathworlder's solitary triumph. Some factions sent envoys hoping to establish contact and learn from this extraordinary human. But all attempts failed, for the Deathworlder communicated only through subtle signals and gestures, maintaining a deliberate distance from the Galactic powers eager to claim them. The harsh planet shaped the Deathworlder's body and mind into something almost otherworldly, a figure scarred but unbroken, with eyes sharp as a hawk's and movements fluid and deliberate, embodying the perfect balance of raw strength and calculated strategy, a living testament to the unyielding human spirit in a universe ruled by chaos. As the shelter evolved into a fortress, rumors spread that the Deathworlder had begun mapping the planet's deadly terrain, marking safe paths and secret caches of resources, preparing perhaps not just to survive but to thrive, and maybe even reclaim Krylos 9 from its reputation as a death trap. There was talk among the alien intelligence networks that the Deathworlder might be planning something far greater than mere survival, perhaps a challenge to the Galactic Order, or a bid to carve out a new home where none dared to live. Yet, despite the swirling speculation and mounting pressure from the outside, the Deathworlder remained focused inward, guided by a silent code of endurance and self-reliance forged in the crucible of Krylos 9's unforgiving wilderness. One night, during an especially fierce storm that turned the sky into a tempest of fire and ice, the Deathworlder emerged from the shelter, standing tall against the raging elements, as if daring the planet itself to break their will. In that moment, unseen by any but the watching aliens, a faint but unmistakable signal was sent into the void. Not a cry for help, but a declaration. Humanity's will to survive was limitless, and no world, no matter how deadly, could extinguish the flame of life once it had been ignited. The alien watchers, moved and transformed by the silent testament unfolding before them, began to rethink everything they knew about survival, adaptation, and the indomitable spirit that bound all life, realizing that in the vast, cold universe, the true power lay not in technology or numbers, but in the relentless heart of a single individual willing to face death itself and emerge victorious. As Krylos 9's twin moons rose again over the shelter, casting long shadows over the barren land, the Deathworlder prepared for whatever the future might hold, ready to meet new challenges, endure new trials, and continue a story that was no longer just about survival, but about rewriting the very meaning of life on the edge of existence.